Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co and ForexTrading.tv daily analysis for gold for the close of trading for Wednesday, November 13th, 2013. Well, the candle we're analysing here is this second last candle on the chart. That final candle is still currently developing, but is quite important, and I will come to that in a minute. But if we look at this candle that has finalised trading, a very large white body candle, and a very solid answer by the buyers to this well-established first time frame downtrend that we had seen the market in for a week or so. We had a series of fairly large black body candles extending down below the 1300 round number level of potential support, taking that out in a very bearish manner, and then finding support down around the 1266 level. And as I mentioned for the previous day's trading, we had a potentially strong zone of support extending from this 1266 area down to 1250. There was a possibility of the market trading lower, and in that previous candle we saw the sellers in control, a black body, and closing just down below 1266, but we haven't seen any follow through. For today's trading, the sellers haven't approached the previous low, and suggesting that the sellers have lost a lot of commitment. We've seen the buyers take control of the market for today's trading with this large white body, and suggesting that in net terms momentum has shifted back to the buyers. Now this is also a potential Japanese candlestick reversal pattern. It's a potential bullish engulfing pattern, and that's where we have a downtrend in place. And always important with any reversals, you need a trend in place. So here we have a first time frame downtrend. We have a black body candle, then we have a largish white body candle where the body of the current candle develops the body where the body of the current candle overlaps the body of the previous candle. And this is exactly what we have here. So a perfect setup for a change of trend. With all of these potential changes of trend, we require confirmation. And if we look at this current candle as it is developing, we do have a candle with a higher high and a higher low, therefore confirming that we do have a change of trend here. Now that candle hasn't finished developing, so if we do see the sellers come in and take out the low of this candle that has finished trading and trade below 1266, that may be null and void, but it certainly doesn't look like it's developing in that manner. So very strong potential for a change of trend as this market's trading at the moment. A very good likelihood of this market testing to the area around the Tenkan-sen, which is trading at 1293, and a strong possibility that that area may act as resistance for this market. So we are looking for potentially strong resistance around there, but also just up above there we have the round number 1300 that was previous support and previously resistance to this market, and in the recent past support, and then once again it may act as a very strong area of resistance. Now we have quite a distinctive trend line here in the trend channel that has been working quite well in this market, and here we have a downtrend in place in the second time frame, and once the market created this peak trough, lower peak, lower trough, we were able to draw the trend line and then draw the trend channel. That's that bottom line there, and it gives us a target for the price action when we're moving away from the trend line. So we did see the market interacting with the bottom of the trend channel, and we are seeing buyers come back in. Now this suggests that there is a possibility of some strong resistance around the trend line here, and that coincides pretty much exactly with the area that the Tenkan-sen is trading in, and therefore strengthening the potential resistance around that, roughly around that 1293 region. So if this market does rally towards that area, we could see some selling come in, and we will be looking potentially for the market to trade off and test back down to the bottom trend channel. But as I've mentioned many times, let's react to the market. Yet this candle hasn't finished developing, but if we do see the sellers close with control, if we do test up around this area, it could be a good potential signal to go short again, in line with the market being bearish in all three time frames. So in terms of Ichimoku, we have bearish market in all three time frames. As I've already mentioned, we have the market trading down below the cloud, so bearish in the long term, bearish in the medium term by trading below the Kijun-sen, the pink line, and in the short term by trading below the Tenkan-sen, the green line. And the Chikou span here is below the corresponding price action, and supporting the negativity that we're seeing in all three time frames. The Kijun-sen is still pointing flat. Very often price action is attracted back towards a flat Kijun-sen. That's what we're seeing at the moment. The buyers have come in around this solid support area and suggesting that this market may trade to higher levels, but as I've already mentioned, very strong resistance near the Tenkan-sen based on that trend line trading there, and also the round number 1300. Looking at the Tenkan-sen, however, a slightly different story here. That's pointing down quite sharply, and it's reflecting this very solid downside momentum that we've seen in the recent past in this market. And very often when we see solid downside momentum, the Tenkan-sen tends to be the first place that the market finds resistance, and then we see the sellers come back in. So that strengthens even further the idea that this market may see some very solid resistance around the 1293, 1294 area if the buyers can manage to push the market up to that area. And let's watch how the market reacts there. If we do see sellers coming in, as I've already mentioned, then it may give us a good signal. But if we see a very solid bullish approach up through there and the buyers try to build momentum and trade through that area, then it may suggest that we aren't going to necessarily see that change of trend back to the downside. But certainly in line with the market trading down below the Ichimoku cloud, that is a very strong possibility that we will see a rally and then the sellers come back into the market.